Ford anticipates increasing its ability to build electric vehicles globally to 600,000 units by 2023, making it the second largest U.S. maker of electric cars behind Tesla. To achieve this, Ford must take control of the battery supply chain. Using a new LFP battery composition that will increase capacity and lower manufacturing costs, the American firm has announced that it will upgrade the electric vehicles it makes. But how does Ford hope to accomplish this incredible feat? We'll walk you through Ford's brand new lithium iron phosphate battery, which has stunned the automotive industry today. But before moving on, it's essential to understand what LFP batteries are and how they differ from the NMC and NCA batteries currently used as industry standards. The industry standard for many years has been NCA nickel cobalt aluminum and NMC nickel cobalt manganese. Longer distances are possible because of the lightweight power and high energy storage capacity. But there are two significant negatives. They can catch fire, and they also make use of rare and dearer raw materials. These include manganese, nickel, and cobalt. Prices have soared ninefold from $6.75 per kilogram in early January 2021 to over $40 per kilogram in 2022 due to greater competition in the EV market. The main distinction is that the LFP uses lithium iron and phosphate chemistry instead of the same pricey raw ingredients. Early LFP batteries were mainly utilized in low-end EV brands and e-bikes because they were much less potent than NMC and NCA alternatives. Even though they might be less expensive, they could not produce the outcomes required to compete. According to data from Benchmark Mineral Intelligence or BMI, LFP chemistry made up just 3% of EV batteries in the United States and Canada in 2022, and 6% in the European Union, with nickel cobalt manganese and CM cells making up the remainder. However, in May 2021, China produced more lithium iron phosphate LFP cells than nickel cobalt manganese NCM cells for the first time, indicating that the advantages of LFP cells are beginning to outweigh the disadvantages that have prevented their widespread deployment. Ford needs access to an ample supply of raw materials to make batteries compete globally. This is why they recently reached an enormous supply agreement with China's top LFP producer for lithium iron phosphate batteries, starting in 2023. LFP batteries are particularly well liked in China due to their affordability and durability, where customers place a higher value on those factors than the overall driving range. In addition, due to the widespread availability of iron and phosphorus, LFP cells are at least 30% less expensive than any alternative, including the NMC, NCA, and NMCA cells now utilized in many EVs. LFP batteries have a much longer lifespan compared to nickel-rich batteries. This is because they retain much strength after being charged and discharged hundreds of times. CATL LFP cells can cover 1,000,000 kilometers before they need to be replenished. On the other hand, nickel-rich cells are around 30% less effective. The crisis in Ukraine is mostly to blame for the increase in nickel prices over the past year. Currently, 20% of the nickel produced in the globe comes from Russia, and this nickel is used in EV batteries. The cost of raw materials is rising, which has forced many manufacturers to raise the price of EVs. This year, Ford has already raised the cost of the F-150 Lightning twice. For instance, the 2023 Lightning Pro model's starting price will be $51,974, an increase of about 11%, and $30 over the truck's $40,000 pricing in May 2021. Even though nickel-rich cells have a higher energy density than LFP cells, this issue can be resolved by employing new cell-to-pack structure designs. Thanks to this design that does away with the module structure, more cells can be crammed into the same amount of space. Since the Chinese consumer values price over range more than anything else, all Tesla Model Y and Model X vehicles produced in China over the past 2 years have been equipped with LFP batteries. Then, Tesla startled everyone when their Q1 numbers revealed that they had used more vehicles and LFP batteries than anyone had anticipated. Tesla stated that the lithium iron phosphate battery with no nickel or cobalt was used in roughly half of the company's Q1 produced vehicles. All standard range vehicles sold worldwide now use LFP batteries, thanks to Elon Musk's company. Ford will probably continue to employ NMC batteries for its extended range packs and use LFP batteries for its normal range vehicles, similar to Tesla. The world's largest supplier of batteries for electric vehicles is CATL. They provide the LFP cells that Ford and Tesla are now using in their EVs. According to Ford, the first F-150 Lightning with iron phosphate will leave the factory in the first few months of 2024, while some Mustang Mach-E models will start using LFP in 2023. Ford must take this action if it hopes to produce 2 million EVs annually by 2026. CATL factories in China will provide the initial batch of output. By the end of 2026, Ford hopes to localize the manufacture of 40 gigawatts of LFP in North America. This will be in addition to the 129 gigawatts of NMC that the company's partnership with SK will provide. Ford has discovered every battery it requires to produce 600,000 cars by the end of 2023. This was made possible by using CATL's now in production LFP batteries. For the remaining 70% of the batteries required to reach its target of 2 million electric vehicles by the end of 2026, CATL has also agreed to a contract with Ford. Taking the lead requires that you cover every angle. Ford intends to take this action. Ford, like General Motors, Volkswagen, BMW, and other businesses, is directly investing in acquiring raw materials. It has supply agreements with BHP Cobalt, Vale Canada, and PT Vale Indonesia for its nickel. Ford also has supply agreements with Rio Tinto and Liontown Resources, both of which are headquartered in Australia. Ford is also attempting to make it simpler to access cathode elements like lithium closer to home because of issues with the supply chain over the previous 2 years. But again, this demonstrates how challenging it may be to rely on a single supply for anything. Before now, EcoProm BM and SK signed a contract to produce cathode materials. In addition, Ford has agreements with Shara Resources and SK to obtain graphite from a Louisiana facility and Pioneer and Compass Materials to obtain lithium from North America. Ford and Redwood Materials have also reached an agreement for the recycling of its batteries. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, is doing all in his power to prevent Ford from falling behind in the electric vehicle revolution. The range issue has been among the essential factors in EV consumer purchasing behavior. As a result, NMC-based EV manufacturers have focused on and manufactured more energy-dense cells in order to meet customer demand, he recently noted during a CNBC interview. However, the manufacture of NMC batteries is now constrained by nickel and cobalt. At the same time, EV drivetrain efficiency has increased to the point where less energy-dense LFP batteries can now meet consumer expectations for range. NMC batteries are consequently losing market share to LFP batteries. Further reducing the need for energy-dense NMC batteries is the market share that neighborhood electric vehicles with shorter ranges will gain, according to a study. Ford's transition to LFP batteries is unlikely to prevent upcoming material shortages because lithium itself may turn into a bottleneck. But if history is any guide, scientists will continue to work on developing more affordable battery chemistry as they try to meet market demand. How do you feel about Ford's most recent action? Which is more important to you, price or range? Likewise, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to be updated for more upcoming videos like this. Thank you for watching. Since you made it this far, did you know why the all-new Ford Super Duty 2023 shocked everybody? To understand why, click and watch this video here. See you there!